In this lesson, we'll cover how to add or remove fields from your report. Our report shows the number of calls abandoned, but what if you want to also see the number of calls abandoned after the caller has waited in queue for longer than the service level threshold? There is a statistic called skill set abandoned after threshold that we can add to our report. To get started, open the report by right-clicking on it and selecting Edit. If you still have it open from the last lesson, that's great, you're already there. One way to add fields is to come to the lists here on the right, where you can choose to add fields from the database fields or formulas lists. This is fine if you're adding a single informational field like an agent name or skill set name, but if you're adding a new statistic, there's a better way to do it. At the top of your screen, you can see the steps we followed in the wizard. Click on the field selection box, and that will take you back to that stage of the wizard. We're going to repeat the stages of the wizard from this point forward so that we can add the skill set abandoned after threshold field as easily as we added the other statistics. Here on the field selection screen, open the database fields list and find skill set abandoned after threshold. Click it and add it to the list. Then click Next. We aren't changing anything with the grouping, so click Next to skip that step. On the Summaries page, select the new field, choose Sum as the summation type, check the 3 boxes to add summaries to the footers, and click Add. Then click Next. You'll need to update the column header in the page header section so that it's formatted like the rest of our column headers. That means we need to select it, and in the Object Properties panel, update the name to something that makes the best sense for you, change the height to 40, and check the bold and underlined boxes. You'll see that the field has been added to the details and footer sections. Since this statistic is a peg count, we'll need to correct the number of decimal places as we did with our other fields. Just select this field, and in the Object Properties panel, change the format to one without decimal places. Repeat this for each of the footer sections. Preview the report to make sure everything looks okay. If it does, and you would like to keep the calls abandoned after threshold on your report, go ahead and save the report by clicking the Save button. When prompted to overwrite the report, click Yes. If you don't want to keep this new statistic on the report, don't bother saving it and follow along to see how to delete fields from your report. Again, the easiest method for deleting a field is to go back to the field selection page. Select the field on the list and remove it. Click Next twice to skip the grouping page. On the Summaries page, remove the 3 summaries that we added from the list at the bottom. Just click the field name, then the Remove button. Click Next. In the Report Layout view, check the different sections of the report to be sure everything was removed successfully. You can also delete individual fields by clicking them and hitting the Delete button on your keyboard. At this point, you can close the Report Creation wizard without saving your report, and your last saved copy of the report will be left intact. In our next lesson, we'll learn how to delete reports from the system.